Wherever you wanna go, just what we'll find a place for you. Hey guys, welcome back to the Job Talks podcast. I hope you're doing super well today. In the podcast today, I'm joined with Nick, Luciana, and Desiree, and we are going to talk about how recruiters are actually finding candidates. So, if you're a candidate, that can give you a lot of tips on how to reach recruiters and actually find the job you truly want. And if you're a recruiter, that could give you also tips on how to find better candidates. So, we're going to unpack all of that today, and I hope you guys enjoy. And if you do, don't forget to leave us a review or leave us a comment or reach directly to us on our social media. All right, have fun.
Hey everyone, thanks for being here today. As I talked about with you just before that, we are going to talk about how you guys source candidates. I don't even know if source is like an English word. Sourcing? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But how you guys are finding candidates. We know that, especially nowadays, there's more and more websites, apps, and everything where people can actually send their CVs and actually try to find a job. So just go a little bit around of how you guys are managing that and how you think candidates should approach you and send you messages when they are willing to apply for a job. I wanted to start with statistics, same as always, but I found one that was pretty interesting to me because I knew that was coming up, but they said that 71% of recruiters are now using Facebook to try and find candidates online. I mean, I'm not really surprised by it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really surprised by this fact, especially now that because it's been a while now that Facebook dropped, you can create job offers directly on Facebook. So that also improved a lot. But we know that LinkedIn is still one of the first social media, I'm talking social media site where recruiters are still finding candidates. So I wanted to ask you first, where is the main source of your candidates? Where do you guys find the most candidates and are looking for candidates the most? Whoever wants to start.
Yeah, it's that, I guess. I think Facebook definitely, as you said, is definitely a big one, because everybody's on it, and everybody's on it not only looking for a job like you would do on LinkedIn. They're on it hanging out, people are looking at random posts, so you get more engagement, more possibility of people looking at finding your post, basically. Facebook, I think, is very powerful. Whatever you can do to make your Facebook more standing out somehow is always a plus. So basically, one of the things I do, I have two Facebook accounts. Don't know that I should have that, but I do. So I have my personal one and I have a Job Squad one, right? So it's specifically with the email of Job Squad, and I created my own Facebook account. I called it Nicholas Poland Job Squad. So everything I post over there is only about Job Squad, and I use it as the main place where I do my ads. And if somebody can trace me back, they'll trace me back to my Job Squad page, and they can see I have friends and everything, and it's active. There's things going on. So I kind of switch from my personal to this one and use both really now. I find it very effective because I think it's because of credibility. I think people don't trust you, especially they see a post and then they see your normal Facebook, of you going out having a drink, or in this case, having a drink in quarantine, But I think when you have the actual page and they go on your page and they see how I am a recruiter and I had people find a position around Europe, contact me if you're looking for a position to travel and stuff like this. And they see the posts related to that. I think it helps a lot for them to trust you and to contact you directly, So I think Facebook is definitely a go-to place. Not to mention the groups and the pages that there is, it's all about that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you mentioned it, like especially the fact that people are, of course, there is like billions of people on Facebook. I mean, billions of profiles at least. So that's true that people have a tendency to not always trust the first thing they see. They need to dig a little deeper to see if that's a real like profile speaking or anything. But that's true. Like I think the thing that stand out the most, what you said, is also the fact that people are hanging out on Facebook. I mean, they're not only just searching for jobs, but they can stumble upon different jobs, and the fact that they are hanging on this kind of place, of course, helps to give a little bit a better exchange, I guess, in that sense. What about you, Desiree? Where do you find most of your candidates?
When I was looking for a job, it was actually the opposite what Nick said, because I didn't know how to use Facebook in a way to search for a job. So before I start working for Job Squad, I had no idea that there was so much. I know people are posting about, I'm looking for a job, but not that it was used as much by recruiters as it is now. I think the option to put jobs wasn't even there. So when I was looking for a job. So I wasn't using Facebook just because I was one of those people that didn't trust it. I do now, obviously. It's completely changed my point of view. But I was using LinkedIn, I guess, because I knew that was more of a professional approach. And you can basically put your entire CV on there. And so that's what I did as far as social media is concerned. Definitely in LinkedIn.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's the fact that people now are starting to think of Facebook also as some sort of recruitment and job offer marketplace. But that's true that for a long period of time, you had of course LinkedIn in mind, and that was the first thing that popping into your head. What about you, Luciana?
I think that I use a little bit both. I use a lot Facebook and LinkedIn. It's like a good mix. In Facebook, I found some great candidates, and I hired some candidates from there, and also from LinkedIn. So I like to go one day with LinkedIn, one day with Facebook, and try to change a bit. And I think this style it's great, or it's working great so far.
Yeah, that's true. But how do you guys I presume of course you guys are still using LinkedIn as well to find some candidates, but how do you think it's changed? Do you prefer using the Facebook to find people because it's easier, or LinkedIn is still the easiest and most gives you more good qualified or better candidates maybe in a sense?
And I think it really depends. You need to find the right groups because there are so many now at the moment, of course. So I think if you post in the right groups, then you can get a result really quickly, more quickly than LinkedIn, because people are on Facebook the whole day, basically, especially I think when they're looking for a job, you try to stay connected. So I think for that, Facebook is really, really, great right now.
Yeah. How about you, Nick?
Yeah,
Do you prefer?
I don't know. I
Luciana?
find better quality on LinkedIn of people, I guess, because as you were saying, Desiree, they tend to maybe try to be more professional over there. Yeah. But on Facebook, you can find maybe more people who are willing to do the things instead of because they're so professional. What tends to happen on LinkedIn? They go to every single job. And then the you waste a lot of your time as a recruiter trying to help a guy who just is helping himself to the platform. But then on Facebook, it's a bit more personal. People feel a bit more, okay, you're gonna help me out. Let's get this done. And my job is to make sure this guy is with the right company, basically. It's a bit more filtering with Facebook. I think Facebook. You see so many people, from all around the world, and you have to filter all the people that are the right ones. But then on LinkedIn, they tend to help you a lot with the right people sending you. So there's cons and pros for both, so it's a different dynamic.
Yeah, it's true. How about you, Luciana?
Totally, I agree a lot with Nick. I think that on LinkedIn, you can find really qualified profiles. And when you're going to contact some person, it's about their experience and they could be a good fit, so you contact them. But in Facebook, everyone can contact you, so you made a post Facebook, you tell about the job, and then everyone can contact you. Maybe they don't fit the profile, but they are looking for another job. Could be good, or could be also a lot of time trying to send information until they send their CV, and all this could be a little bit long in time.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. I think that, as you said, like the difference is pretty clear, like in the fact that you don't create the profile on Facebook or LinkedIn for the same reasons, of course. Do you guys think that having, because LinkedIn offers the ability to have kind of a CV already built on your profile, so do you think that helps a lot and not trying to find all the information about candidates, because when they are sending from Facebook, I mean, you don't, especially they could be their name or actually not their real name. We don't, they never know, but you don't have all the information about the CV. You don't know anything about all of that. Do you think that having that feature on LinkedIn gives more credibility, or at least helps you find information way easier?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the greatest things about LinkedIn is that you always have a CV. You can look through to the candidate. You can maybe excuse yourself, it doesn't work for us, but thank you very much for applying. Whereas on Facebook, you have to stay talking to the person and try to make him send the CV, and oh my God. And then later on, you realize you wasted most of your time on this person, for no reason, you know. So that definitely helps.
Real
Whatever
reunion.
the possibility to have the CV there and then is fantastic.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. It's true. And yeah, talking about that, like you said that you're finding all the information and everything. Do you spend a lot of time like back checking or looking at people's profile on like social media in general? Like when you've got a candidate, do you look at what they are posting or anything, in case there is like some background that could be not beneficial for their profile or anything like that? Something that could, like, I don't know, but not be in the best interest for both recruiters or people, just checking if they have any issues with the profile or anything. Do you look at all these informations?
I mean, I tend to check their profile just in general, to see whether it's a legit profile, first of all, in general, especially on Facebook. We receive so many, especially as men, you receive so many of these, like, oh, come single women, and there's so much of this going on Facebook, where you have to filter and have a look at the profile and see its legitimacy. But apart from that, at the end of the day, it's all about the interview. Once we speak to the candidate, you would know what person you're dealing with and kind of character he is, than from the profile, I would say.
Yeah, and but speaking of that, how do you think, like to create like some sort of to be legit more when you're applying and talking to recruiters? How do you think candidates should contact you? Like the first thing that they should like try to say to you to like grab your attention and just be persuasive, kind of, that you're an interesting profile for you.
I have only been doing this for like 3 weeks, so maybe the other twos have more experience with this. But even in 3 weeks, I can already say, like, it's really easy to get tired of, like, I have a woman, for example, sending me 3 lines, and that's like her whole, like, do a little bit of more effort. It's a two-way street, no? Me and Nick and Luciana, we are taking the time and the effort to put up a post to say, hey, we're looking for this, we're offering you this. So I would really advise people, less is more, I guess, but to share information, and you don't know what is relevant for us. You don't know what is what we're looking for. So show us what you got. Be original, I guess, as well. Like, I've seen CVs that are like 2 lines or whatever, or really like left, right. At least make sure that it's I'm not OCD or whatever, but make sure that it's professional looking, I guess, because you are looking. Are you looking for a job or not? Are you serious or not? It can show a lot. At least that's what I in these 3 weeks I've already seen a few things as I'm like,
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, as you say. Yeah, go ahead, Luciana.
Sorry. Yeah, and also the way how to contact us. It's like sometimes I receive emails saying like, I want a job, and that's all. Like, no, hi, my name is give me some more information. Do you want a job where? Where are you from? Which language do you speak? Something else. If you don't want to send your CV in the first email, that's fine. But give me some more information, not just I want a job. That's kind of rude, I think.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
tends to
and
happen quite a bit actually. This kind of thing, where they just send a random open like question or like, well, give me a job or something like that. Obviously we're looking for a specific candidate here. Are you able to fit the position? Yes or no? We're wasting both people's time here if you're not.
Yeah, that's true. I can. Well, that's the same as we talked about also with CVs and interviews or anything. Like you gotta give a little bit of yourself and your personality, and just at least be friendly. It's still a conversation. It's to humans, so you need to have like a real conversation, something that is going on to attract. Well, we didn't touch that yet, but did you guys also, because we know the social media of like Facebook, LinkedIn, and even Instagram to grab the attention or just apply for anything, but do you guys also use third-party websites? Like the most well-known one is Indeed, but there's different ones, Monster or Upwork. I mean, there's tons of there out there. Do you guys use them?
I tend to use Indeed. I find it quite good, Indeed. The other is not much, and then Monster is more of like how the company is, and it's more like on that side, per se. So as recruiters, you are not the company unless you can promote Job Squad as the company, So we have to build up, I think, the Job Squad maybe thing to make it like a very high positive company for people to come to. But at the end of the day, people are looking for a job, not recruiters, on Monster. So I don't find it that helpful per se. But you can always do adverts on them, Obviously these are paid adverts, but again, you have to see where you're going to put your money if you want to pay adverts. Is it because, as you were saying, 73% of people are on Facebook? Why not use Facebook as where you're going to pump in your money in, for example. So finding the right platform for a job, for your job post is important. But at the end of the day, you can only test here, test there, and see which works best, because some positions might work better elsewhere. The high profile positions would definitely do better on LinkedIn, and maybe beginner positions would definitely do better on Facebook, So it depends what position you have, and what position you're looking in this case. Someone's looking for a job, where to look for a job, right?
Yeah, do you guys have anywhere else to add on the third-party websites?
No. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
No, bye.
Okay. In my case, at the beginning, I started trying different websites, but the same as Nick, they weren't working that much, or I wasn't having good results, or the best ones. So I stayed with Facebook and LinkedIn. Sometimes I try a new one, but it's always Facebook and LinkedIn at the end.
Yeah, makes sense. What about you, Zira?
Yeah, same for me, although I have really good experiences with Indeed. I don't know if it's maybe also depending on the location where you're looking for. But I do agree with Nick said. Maybe it's Indeed is very much, you have entry-level jobs and you have senior roles, and it's technical, it's pharmaceutical, it's sales, it's kind of a mix of everything. So I guess it takes a really good time to look on Indeed. But when I was looking for something, for example, remote, so when I was living in Italy, but I wanted to do something with my Dutch language, I found a Dutch-speaking job on Indeed, which I couldn't never have found in Italy. So, it's good for some things, but it needs a lot of time to search through all the positions, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. And do you guys do a lot of, I mean, we talked about the fact that, for example, Facebook, you've got a lot more candidates maybe, but you still don't have all the information. It's way harder to get everything that you need. Do you guys have, how do you do your first kind of screening of candidates? We talked about like maybe checking the profile and everything, but depending on where they are coming from, talking about the sourcing, which platform or which website they are coming from. How do you guys do the kind of first screening of candidates to see if that would be a good fit or not? Do you go directly for a CV, or do you try to have more information about the skills, background, or anything like that? Who wants to go
Well,
first?
I think the language could be a first thing to see. If you're looking for, I don't know, a Dutch speaker and you receive an Italian speaker, maybe you don't have another position, well, then it won't be a good profile. Maybe for the future, yeah, but not in that case. So maybe the CV, if they're open to relocate, or if they're just looking for a job in where they are. And after that, well, I will ask for the CV.
I think, I mean, I want to be bluntly honest to be able to help the people that are trying to apply in general. I would say, I mean, the first thing is where they're from, you know. So if you're within Europe, I'm interested in talking to you, most probably. If you're outside of Europe, you're gonna have to somehow get a working permit wherever you're going to go start working. Because from my side and for our side as recruiters, we're not gonna be able to help you. You know, it's unfortunate. Yes, it's a situation. We have a lot of people from outside of Europe trying to get a job here in Europe. You know, but again, you have to have or a European passport, or at least a work permit somewhere within that place you're trying to work already established, you know. So from our side, we're not going to be able to assist unless you already have this put in. So that is definitely first, where they're from, what language they speak, you know. So what language do you speak? And then I can know where I can place you, because most of our positions, especially are here at Job Squad, they happen to be language oriented. So yes, so if you speak Swedish, you know, we have positions in Lisbon, we have positions in Cyprus, we have positions in Greece for that, you know. And we say, okay, so you have experience in sales, and they speak Swedish, you know. So therefore you'd be to put you up a grade. We have a position in Cyprus in Forex, maybe, because maybe it will take you up another notch, you know. Or you never did a job and you speak Swedish as well, so maybe you can do a customer service position for you to start moving forward, you know. So we are able to place you in different places. But it's important, yes, where you live at the moment and what languages you speak. So that is definitely the first screening. So as soon as I know where we actually know where whether it's important for us to get along and start talking, and you can even send your CV, because I can actually help you, you know, basically.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, as you talked about, that's true that there is, unfortunately for people outside the Europe, it's much more complicated, and also because the fact that you guys as recruiters, well, you don't have any, you can't really help them, because the work permit and everything is just, it's not in your work. I mean, you can't do anything about it. So that's true that people should think about that first. But yeah, if you're in Europe, I mean, as we talked about, being like friendly and just starting a conversation, you're just starting with where you're from and what language do you speak, always helps. There's also one other statistic that I got from, which was, I mean, it's kind of huge, but at the same time, I get it for big companies and everything, that said that 80% of positions were actually never advertised. So basically never published, and they were doing like either in-house, or they're just trying to recruit people that are from recommendations from other workers or anything. I think that concerns a lot, like really big companies applying for senior positions or anything. That drives, I think, more interest in that way. But do you guys think that even if candidates don't find the job, or don't find the opportunity that they are looking for yet, they need to start sending CVs or information to recruiters in case, I mean, in case something happens, in case they've got the opportunity or job opening in the future? Do you guys think that they can send you a CV or send you a thing out of the anywhere, even though if there is no opportunity yet?
Yeah, you mean like an open solicitation? What is it called? Open application.
Yeah, I'm word.
Yeah, me too.
I
had in Dutch, which is not helpful. Yeah, exactly like that. Well, I think because, like, you know, also we at Job Squad, we know that we have a lot of jobs behind the screen that might not be on internet yet, or that might not be but very new and demands and everything. So I'm a very big fan of open applications, of sending your CV. I've done it myself. You know, when I was looking for a job in tourism in Rome, I at all the tour agencies. You know, for a recruiter, I guess point of view now after 3 weeks, it's probably going to be really tough, because when you get 100 CVs or whatever open, it's hard to get through. But on the other hand, you know, you might get that candidate who is the right one for the job. So yeah.
Yeah, we would filter. I mean, if somebody sends their CV and there isn't a position available, like say, again, going back to somebody who speaks Finnish, for example, you know, and we don't have Finnish positions at the moment, you know, but we can enter in the system, in our system, and we'll know when we have a new position available, we'll contact you, basically, you know. So there's always that, and usually they come in within 1-2 weeks. So maybe this person within 1-2 weeks, they will actually receive a call from us regarding the position that just recently opened, you know. I mean, I've had candidates have been with me for a couple of months, you know, and we've applied for different positions, and eventually they get the job they want, you know, because we have so many contacts where we get so many different positions around Europe, from companies around Europe, basically, that there's always something new coming through, you know.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, well, especially like because there might be some people as well that are currently employed somewhere but want to change or want to have like another job somewhere. And that's true that like even if you don't have any opportunity yet, as you said, like just be entered in the system, in the loop, actually gives you a better chance, because you can always still say, all right, no, like this job doesn't like suit me as much, but at least you're in the loop and you've got all the information that your recruiter can find. And of course, I mean, you are tailoring all the job offers, like you are trying to find the perfect match between candidates and the job. So of course, normally you receive only job offers that are suiting your profile. So that's true that it helps a lot. We quite a quick piece of advice from you guys on. We talked about that you are recruiting on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. What do you think candidates should look at the most on their profile? Things to avoid to have on Facebook or LinkedIn? Things to think about before applying somewhere, because maybe we know you can post literally anything, join any group. I mean, you can do anything you want. So what do you guys think candidates should look out before doing anything with their profile, recruiting wise?
I mean, there's quite a few things. I mean, apart from the obvious, depending what you're wearing and what's, because I've seen some weirdness folk out there, you know. But I think that one of the things that is not so obvious and people tend to do it is putting in their very low standard job that they did. For example, I mean, this guy had, for example, a sales work, and he worked in sales and he worked in customer service. Before all those jobs, he worked as a cleaner, you know, and he more floors and stuff for about three years. That is not going to help you anywhere, any job. Nobody's going to tell you, oh, he has responsibility. I mean, we used to say this to kids, you know, but in reality, someone who's hiring you is not, you know, he puts down your level. If you have if you have two positions where you worked in sales and you worked in customer service, you know, that is solid work right there. Don't add something else that's going to diminish those positions in reality. And this is very common, actually. I see it a lot because they want to add everything they did in their life, you know. And the CV is not really about the story of your life. It's really about the guy who's going to recruit you, impressing him, really. That's the whole point at the end.
Yeah. Do you guys, in your view, want to build up on that? So I think, I mean, but yeah, of course, like Nick just summed up kind of everything about it. That's true. But no, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like as you said, like just keeping relevant, no matter the circumstance. Can't speak. But yeah. definitely, and try to have like an appealing profile is one of the most interesting thing. We're gonna wrap up quickly with you guys. What's one tip that you have for other recruiters, not candidates, but for other recruiters on how to correctly source candidates? I think that you guys like experienced in the past, or like even if it's a funny tip or something that you stumble upon while searching for or looking for some candidates, or actually if you, I don't know, if you sourced one candidate in a really weird place or website or anywhere. I don't know.
I would say personally it's speed, especially if you have somebody who messages you, message them right back, because they're available there and then. They message you then, so they're in front of the computer, you know. So if they message you, I message them as much as fast as possible, and even sometimes tell them, "Can I call you?" And I'll call them there and then, even, you know, instead of creating an appointment and all this, you know. The anxiety builds up from the candidate, and he doesn't call because he's like, I want to talk to a recruiter, let me just do the interview or something with the company. You know, there's all these things in between that happen, you know, that we can avoid by just talking to the person right there and then. So I think speed is very, very, even for the candidates in general, you know, it is comfortable for them to say, wow, look how fast, wow, this guy is great, man, I need him by my side, you know, or something like that.
Yeah, you're building a better conversation when you are faster, because of course, otherwise, if you're speaking every 4 or 5 days, just it doesn't help anyone. That's true. Desiree or Luciana, if you've got any.
Totally. And also the communication, like to know like really well the position you're presenting, to understand the client, to give all the information you can give and they might want to know, and also to let them know how the process will continue. But when will you come back with an answer, positive or negative? It's super important to so the candidate receive a feedback. If I'm a candidate, I like to receive a feedback, and I don't like when I spend, I don't know, 30 minutes or 1 hour in an interview and then I don't hear anything again. So I think that point, communication, is really important.
Yeah, for me the same actually. It's a little bit of both, and it's also, I think, what I already learned, I think, in 3 weeks is to stay honest with the client, because you know, in the beginning I was trying, as Nick said before, you know, you're trying to help them, you really want them to have a job. That's what we do, that's our job. But you know, you can't create a position for somebody, you know, so it's you have to be honest with them, like, I'm sorry, but your profile is not, because otherwise I am wasting my time, obviously, but also the candidate, because he could look for another job or look somewhere else. So be honest.
Yeah, I think those are really good pieces of advice. I mean, it goes both ways, that you all said, like, it's just, if you're honest with the recruiter and the candidates, I mean, if the relationship is quick, honest, and there is a lot of like good things that are happening, of course, it helps create like a better momentum, and you've got way more chances to find the job that you really want. So that's true. That's a lot of good things on there, and especially we talked about it last time, as you kind of touched the point of the old description, Luciana, like the old things that you guys recruiters are writing about the job itself, like all the perks, all the what the position is going to be about, the missions you're going to have, and that falls into it as well. Like candidates should have like some time to read really well the job description, so that they know what they're applying for, and it saves times for candidates but also for recruiters, and it's a win-win for everyone as well. Well, I think we're gonna wrap up on that. That was super fun for me and for you guys. I hope that was super interesting as well. And thanks guys for tagging along.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That was great.
Job Squad, we'll find a place for you.